I said Zay-Bo, nigga. That's all I do. All I do is splash, do it splash,
All
do it
right,
splash.
and we're back with another episode of the Verified Podcast. And today we have none other than Roxie2Hot4Tv.
Hey. Happy to be here. Thank y'all for having me. Thank you for having me, Los.
Oh, yeah.
Me and Los go way back, just so y'all know. First Walltown Baptist Church days in the tray.
Oh, man, talk about it. Talk about it.
Yeah, so definitely happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
That's perfect. And I appreciate it, too. You just don't understand how much I appreciate this.
No problem.
Because, I feel like things always come back full circle.
Mm-hmm.
And on the ride up here, it was kind of thinking, it was like, we never stepped on nobody's toes. We never did the wrong things to get to where we're going. Excuse me. So, and at the end of the day, when things line up the way they do, and, good people always kind of stay connected, good things always happen.
That's real. A word. Y'all didn't know y'all was going to get a word.
Hey.
On the Verified Podcast today. You didn't know you was going to get a little word?
Yeah. You going to get a little more than that if you stay tuned,
Fact.
so.
Fact.
But, to kind of open things up, from your words, who is Roxie?
Roxie. So, I'm a mama, a wife, a sister, just an overall cool chick. That's how I like to consider myself. I'm a real person, and I love what I do. I love radio. I love being able to interact with people. When I first got into the entertainment industry, I thought I wanted to do TV. I wanted to be a local news anchor, and I did an internship at a news station. I absolutely hated it. And then I came home that summer. At the time, I was at Hampton in Virginia. And I came home and I said, I'm going to try 102 Jamz because I love music, grew up on 102 Jamz. And when I got here, I absolutely loved it because I'm able to be me, authentically me. Like all the good parts, all the bad parts. Like I can just be who I am. And so that's what I really love about what I do. But as far as who I am, like I'm just me. You know what I'm saying? I'm just me. I love what I love, and I hate what I hate. And I'm very vocal about both of those things.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So that kind of segue into, like, another question when you was just saying where you thought you was going to be when it comes to a news anchor.
Yeah.
You're doing it big here, at 102 Jamz. So where do you see yourself going?
So my goal was always to be a program director of a radio station. So the program director is pretty much the boss of the station. They're the person who adds the music, the promos. They pretty much plan the direction of the station. And they hire people, they fire people, you know what I'm saying? They can give people opportunities. That was always my goal. That's not my goal anymore. The industry has changed in such a way where I don't feel program directors really have the influence over their stations that they used to have because, well, I'll speak from my experience in my company. The company is so big now. There are a lot of people that aren't local and aren't like native to the area making decisions. And so it's just different. You know what I'm saying? Not bad, but different. So what radio is now isn't what it was when I started in 2011.
Yeah.
And so I don't really know right now what my next step would be because everything that I had worked towards is really not what I want anymore. So I get asked that a lot, like, what's your next step? What's your next goal? I don't know. That's the honest answer. I don't know what I want to do next. I'm just kind of enjoying where I am right now. and not necessarily worry about what's next. I'm just really, I really, really love what I do. It is a blessing, like an honor, and like really my pleasure, word to Chick-fil-A, to get up and like be able to do what I do every morning. So I'm just enjoying that. And I guess at some point I'll need to figure it out, child. Yeah. But right now, I really don't know. And that's mainly, like I said, because the industry has changed in such a way that, what I thought I wanted isn't what I want now.
But that happens, growing pains, you learn through experience.
Yes.
You know what you want, but I've always seen that, or I heard it, rather, when it comes through the radio, that you love doing what you love to do.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
And you love helping people.
I do.
So
I do.
That kind of brings me to, like, the community and how important you feel like reaching back out to the community. I see that you do hosting events. You've done, like, kid hosting events, women hosting events. Yeah. I think you got something coming up, too. When it comes to that. I've been checking that out. So how important do you think that is when it comes to doing what you do?
It's essential. I've had opportunities throughout my career to go other places, and that may have been cool. Those places, one of them in particular was bigger, you know what I'm saying? There may have been what others would consider more opportunity there, but it's not home. Like, I grew up here, you know what I'm saying? So being able to impact the people and the area where I'm from is important to me. And so a lot of the things that we've implemented on our show, Black Owned Business Spotlight, opening our show to community leaders, to business owners, to different organizations, allowing them to come up and talk about what they have going on. That's something that in the past generally was not done. But in my opinion, if we're not opening our platform to the community, then what are we really doing? Up here talking about what people can read on the blogs all day, that's not, it's a part of it, but that's not what's important. What's important is strengthening community in any way you can. And so I always try to go to the schools, talk to the kids, talk to the girls, any women's empowerment events that I can be a part of. They're really important to me. And that's something that I've kind of learned over the years, the importance of using this platform to elevate and strengthen the community and Black businesses, Black organizations, like using this platform for some good and not just coming up here and running my mouth. Anybody can do that, you know what I'm saying? But it's just essential that you pour back into the community that's giving so much to you.
Oh man, that's incredible. Because that kind of resonates, especially when I hear you doing an interview with Fantasia. And she's talking about, she actually got the key to High Point.
Fact.
Yeah, and she was kind of saying those same kind of things, like you can always go out and venture, but there's always no place like home.
Right, and that's the truth.
So when it comes to you and coming up in Winston, what advice would you give a young Raquel that's in high school or middle school that's trying to come up in this kind of industry? What do's, what don'ts would you have for them?
I would say stay focused. Don't be afraid to bet on yourself. And don't think that if you make a mistake, it's the end of the world and it's over. Stay focused. That's an obvious one. Like, distractions are all around, especially these days. I mean, you could distract yourself on your phone for hours, just scrolling on social media. Like, you can distract yourself for hours. So you have to stay focused. If you have a goal, work towards the goal. Bet on yourself. Like, don't be afraid to take chances if you believe that there's something you could do. When I auditioned for this job, I had another job. And the hours for that job were 8 to 5.
Right.
The hours here are 6 to 10. So they were like bumping heads.
Yeah.
And so when I was auditioning, I didn't have the job, but they kept asking me to come back. And my boss eventually was like, you know, she was working with me at first, but then eventually she was like, you know, you can't be like 3 hours late every day. Like, that just can't happen. And I told her I quit. I was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and give you my notice. I did not have this job. I didn't have a plan if they didn't give me this job. I hadn't talked to my boyfriend at the time. I literally, on the spot, when she called me in her office, was like, well, I'm going to go ahead and give you my 2 weeks notice. I had to, like, really bet on myself. And I was like, that's what I want to do. Like, this is my opportunity. I can't let that opportunity go because I'm scared of losing this job. And it was a good job. It was a good job, and I needed it.
Right.
But I also needed to give myself the best chance to seize this opportunity. So don't ever be afraid to bet on yourself. And the last thing I said, if you make a mistake, you know what I'm saying, don't feel like your life is over. Like, I totally been there. You know what I'm saying? I've done some stuff. I mean, bad stuff, horrible stuff. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like the streets was talking about me, kind of bad stuff. But you know, you have to own it. You have to take accountability. You have to apologize to people if you've done it wrong, and you have to move forward. Like, don't feel like, damn, I've done this thing and now it's over. No, it's not over. It's not over. As long as you do those things, own it, take accountability, apologize for your wrongs, try to make them right, you can always move forward.
That's beautiful. And as you can see, you know, proof, you know, investing in yourself and in what you want to do always pays off in the end. You know, so, hey, you making it look good.
Thank you.
You know, so.
Now let me also say, don't just quit your job and you don't really have an opportunity. Like, you work towards the opportunity, and then when it comes, you know what I'm saying? Go for it. But, you know, don't quit for nothing now. Don't quit for nothing.
Glad you cleared that up for our listeners out there, you know. But we're going to switch gears a little bit.
Okay.
You know, coming up in the industry, when it comes to what you're seeing our moguls kind of go through now, or used to be moguls, like, example, P. Diddy. Yeah. You know.
I knew who he was talking about.
Oh, okay.
I knew who he was talking about.
Yeah. What do you feel like when it comes to, when they say gatekeepers? Do you feel like that's a thing in the industry? Oh, absolutely.
That's absolutely a thing. And I'm not gonna lie, I think some things should be gatekept and then some things shouldn't. So for example, something I went through personally, when I was first starting, I wanted to intern under a particular personality who I thought was like really good. And I asked her, she was working, and I went in and I asked her, you know, if I could intern with her. It was important for me to intern under a woman. I wanted to definitely intern and come up under a woman in the industry. And she was just like, no. Like, she told me no. And from that point on, like, was very rude to me.
Why would you say she did?
Because she was trying to gatekeep. In that instance.
Wow.
Like, she was trying to make sure that nobody that could possibly take her spot.
Gotcha.
She didn't want to help anybody that could possibly take her spot. And so that form of gatekeeping is whack.
Right.
That's like, and that shaped how I interact with other women in the industry now. Now, honestly, at that time, it was very different. Now, sisterhood is popular. And so, you know, a lot of people, even if they're not really a girl's girl, want to come off that way. But at that time, like, it was you didn't see a lot of women in radio. When you did see them, they were in certain positions. Like you were sort of made to believe. Like when you see female rappers now, like you're sort of made to believe, oh, there can only be one. No, there can be many. There's room for all of us because we're all different and we all bring something that is not like what somebody else is bringing.
Right.
So in that instance, I'm not cool with gatekeeping. Now, you have the other side where I feel like there are vultures who come into the culture and they just make themselves comfortable and we allow it, and then they do something and everybody gets all up in arms. But no, y'all let them come in and make themselves comfortable. For example, everybody was mad at Adam 22 a couple days ago, or a little while ago, because he interviewed Pop Smoke's killer.
Right.
Y'all allowed first of all, I didn't even know who the hell Adam 22 was. When everybody was mad, I was like, who is Adam 22?
Right.
But you allow these people to come in and make themselves comfortable, and then they show you, oh no, I'm just here to get paid. I don't care nothing about none of this.
Your culture?
Nothing. I really don't care about the culture. I'm just here to get paid, and then you get mad. So I do think certain things need to be gatekept. Like we can't just allow anyone with a camera and a microphone to comment on our culture. You're not a part of it.
Right. And I feel like I agree, big time. And I feel like that's what the Kendrick and Drake kind of battle was really about.
Yes.
The culture, what's allowed, what's not.
And Kendrick was talking some real stuff.
He was
Kendrick was talking some real stuff. Y'all just let anybody come in and do anything and say anything, and you welcome them, and then you get mad.
When they show
you let them in. You let them in.
Right. But a lot of other cultures don't let us in.
Correct.
We do, but that's another conversation at hand,
Correct.
But I like what you were saying about, women, how it was a little more marginalized back in the day. How do you feel the shift is now when it comes to women in this business that you're in?
I'm loving the shift. I have a lot of women friends in this industry that I feel are genuine, that I feel want to see you succeed, want to do well. They're not threatened by what you got going on because they got their own stuff going on. Even if they don't have something going on, they're still happy to see you succeed and see you doing your thing. So I'm loving where we are now. I'm loving where we are now. Like I said, it's just a lot of good, genuine, beautiful energy with amongst women within the industry, and so I like that. I like that a lot.
That's perfect.
And I feel like it's real, cause sometimes it's fake and forced, and you could tell, but generally I feel like that's not what's happening. Like people really are genuine, and it's like a real sisterhood.
Yeah. Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And when it comes to you, cause you're the main reason why we're up here, so have there been any interviews and any questions, that people haven't asked you that you was like, I got this going on too, or coming up, that you just want to kind of get off your chest?
No, not really. I'm like a go with the flow person.
Okay.
And I'm not really a person that needs a lot of attention or needs to be like, oh, what is what I'm doing? I'm not that. I'm very much not that.
Oh, okay.
You could probably look at my social media and tell everybody is always like, you need to post more, you need to do that. But that's just naturally not me. That's not me. And that's like one of the reasons that I loved radio, because nobody could see me. Nobody know what I look like. They just know if they rock with me or not, because they either like me or they don't. Like, they like my vibe, they like my energy, they like my thoughts and opinions, or they don't. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not a person that is like that at all. So no.
Oh, okay.
No, not at all.
Oh, so what does Roxie have coming up that you want anybody to know? Any events? Just anything you want anybody to know that's coming up for you?
So off the top of my head, the 3 big events I have coming up. I have the I think it's the 5th annual. Don't kill me if it's not, but I think it's the 5th annual Black Lux Expo. That's a huge like Black vendor fair that normally goes on in High Point. This year, she's moving it to Winston, which I'm excited about. Wow. The Black Lux Expo is coming. So that's coming up. I have the Holistic Women's Convention coming up.
Okay.
And I know I'm saying that name wrong, but it's the Holistic Women. I'm going to be a panel speaker on one of the days there, so I'm very excited about that. And then we have Color on Main coming up, so that's a huge arts festival in High Point that I'm going to be hosting. So looking forward to all of those.
And when it comes to those events, or just events that you already have been a part of, which ones have been your favorite or just stuck in your brain the most?
Ooh, you put me on the spot. They're all my favorites.
Okay.
They're all my faves. No, I really do. I just generally enjoy hosting because it allows me to like get out in front of our listeners and our audience. And I always love connecting with people who listen to the show. Like I really do. I like to hear like what they like most about the show, like things that stood out to them, because people listen and different things stand out to them. So it's always fun to link up with listeners in person. So I love hosting. I'm able to do that. But I'm particularly fond of hosting events with kids because kids are always a lot of fun. They like to dance. They're very honest. They like to have a good time. So I particularly like events with kids.
Right.
But they still are my faves.
Hey, well, y'all heard that here first.
Yes.
When it comes to your work-life balance, you know, I heard you kind of bringing it in when it comes to the interview. You was like, you know, I'm a mother, you know, daughter, wife, you know, all that good stuff. How do you balance all of that? You know, coming in here and putting on that cape and turning into Roxie. You know, how do you balance all of that?
It's not hard, honestly, because while this job, you know, it can get very busy, it also allows me a lot of flexibility because I get off at 10. You know what I'm saying? So if I have something that I need to do, or if I've got some business I need to handle, somewhere I need to be, I can be there. Like, I can go to my son's school. I can pick him up every day. Now, I don't get to take him to school. And I was actually thinking about that the other day. Like, I've never taken my son to school because he's only 11. And I've been doing this 10 years. Wow. So, like, I've never gotten to take him to school. But I've always been able to pick him up. Always very present on the weekends. Like, my bookings, I can choose what I take and what I don't. So, if he has a tournament, then he has a tournament. That weekend is blocked. I'm not taking any bookings. Same with my husband. Like, he coaches basketball. I'm able to be there at night for his basketball games. I'm able to support him in that way. So while the job does get busy, like I said, it allows for a lot of flexibility. So I'm very fortunate in that way.
Right. Oh, that's perfect. Well, I know that you stay, you know, super busy. And I just want to say I appreciate, you know, giving me the opportunity to come in and interview you, because here at the Verified Podcast, I focus more on like business owners, entrepreneurs, just shining a bright spotlight on the positive things in Winston.
Yes.
You know, and just the Triad area in general, because I feel like we get a bad rap, you know, and you're just one of them
Which
bright
I don't know
beacon.
why that we do, but I don't know why that is.
Hey, I don't know either. You know,
Winston is lit. I love Winston.
Yeah, I mean, I work at BMW, and there be some clients that I talk to, and they be like, if I tell them I'm born and raised here, they like, they kind of raise their eyebrows.
No, they don't.
Like, yeah, like, dang, I don't think that.
Right.
You know, so, but just trying to be that beacon of light, you know, basically being the change that you want to see, type of thing. And I feel like you do that tremendously, and you're killing it right now.
Thank you.
So,
that means a lot to me. Thank you.
You are like the epitome of what I want on the actual podcast, and just want the youth to kind of see that there's other ways of doing things, you know, other than just how they try to marginalize you or, you know, put you into a sports category or this category.
Right.
Nah, it's way more things that you can do out there,
Right.
you know, and put your focus into. But for anybody who wants to know how to get in contact with you, reach you, what's your socials, Instagrams, all that good stuff?
Okay. You can find me on Instagram at Roxie2Hot4Tv. So ROXIE, the number 2 HOT, the number 4 TV. It's the same on Twitter. So Roxie2Hot4Tv, Instagram, and or X now.
Right.
You know, I came up in the Twitter days, so I still say Twitter. And you can also email me at askroxie102@gmail.com. So ASKROXIE102@gmail.com.
That's perfect. And just while you were saying that, I got one last question.
Okay.
That alter ego that you got on 102, like, how did you come up with that alter ego?
What you talking about, Bone?
Yeah.
Bone is a whole person. I don't know why y'all keep asking me that. Bone is a whole person.
Talk about it.
Not associated with me at all.
Oh.
I could never act like Bone.
Oh, man. You're gonna have to get me in contact with Bone.
Right.
I have to do a little interview too. But that is a wrap for this episode of the Verified Podcast. It's Top Carter CL here. Roxie2Hot4Tv.
Thank y'all for having me.
And until next time, you already know.
Bye.